Until now, we have been talking about the cumulative effect of the state of spirit SD. Those who have practiced systematic entry into SD have already noticed that it does not pass without a trace. Some particle of the force remains with you and joins you. For example, calm confidence, determination, a sense of your own power, which were not there before, and so on, may appear. In this way, you can develop and accumulate in yourself all those useful abilities and qualities that a short-term state of unity with the spirit gives, only on a permanent basis. But there is also a not very pleasant side effect. There may be dissatisfaction with your life in the past and present, as well as strong dissatisfaction with your body, avatar. Perhaps, and most likely, you had a number of successful and powerful realizations in past lives. And now the half-awakened spirit looks at the current, probably not the most successful incarnation, and in an avatar that is far from perfect, and is annoyed. Which is why a corresponding feeling of annoyance subtly emerges in the consciousness of the avatar. Why is he still half awake? Because the SD practice does not awaken the spirit in your avatar completely. This will require a lot of effort. First, the avatar itself, that is, your personality, will fully awaken in this waking dream and then connect with your spirit on a permanent basis. In the topic of the previous publication, one non-trivial question was asked. There is one thing I cannot understand. Why can't the spirit itself awaken in the avatar, but I, the avatar, must awaken in the spirit? He is omnipotent. I have already given the answer. I will repeat it here. Since the sleeping avatar, that is, you, is the realization of the spirit, then the avatar itself must awaken, that is, functionally open its eyes and come to a sane state. It must functionally awaken, like a mummy in which the spirit is imprisoned and buried for the time of sleep, this life. When we say that I wake up in my ordinary dream, first of all it is the dream avatar, or dream character, or mannequin according to Tuft, or mummy. One can give different definitions that wakes up. And then I begin to feel myself awakened in my dream avatar, or even in the mummy in which I was imprisoned while I was walking there in my dream. When we say that I awaken in my spirit, it's all the same. First, I, as a character in a dream, wake up in this dream, and then I begin to feel myself as a spirit awakened in my body, avatar. That is, the avatar must functionally wake up first and then its owner. Both from unconscious sleep into a lucid dream, and from a daydream into the state of an awakened spirit. If, of course, this avatar is at least half asleep and is capable of waking up at all by ITS level of consciousness and energy. That is why the order is such that first we restore the functionality of the avatar, and then we get the opportunity to launch all spiritual applications. Otherwise, we can say, the battery won't handle it. And that is why transurfing yourself as a process of self-development includes 1. Effective nutrition. 2. Effective movement. 3. Effective attention. And then 4. Awakening in spirit. Although, of course, it is possible to practice SD without the first 3 components. However, if the avatar is not functional enough in terms of its level of consciousness and energy, then nothing may work out at all. Or side effects may arise, such as discontent and dissatisfaction with oneself and one's life, irritability, a feeling of apathy, depression, lack of fulfillment, lack of prospects. If there is a feeling of being lost and helpless in life, then this is a direct analogy with a dream, precisely because it is unconscious. Something is simply oppressive, but the consciousness is covered with a veil, and there is no strength to ask clear questions. Where am I? What am I doing here? And can I take my life into my own hands? Not in the sense of fighting with circumstances, but in becoming the owner of these circumstances and my dream. The spirit, too, walks with you through this life in a or completely unconscious state, and only vaguely realizes oppression, lack of freedom, dissatisfaction, and lack of fulfillment. The practice of SD brings the spirit into a state of partial awakening, but not completely, so it only gets annoyed. What is going on? And therefore a side effect. Although this same side effect can occur without the practice of SD, the spirit in this realization, as in a dream, still experiences a vague oppression, which breaks through into the consciousness of the avatar and causes him mental anguish. There is only one way out of this situation. Wake up in a wakeful dream and connect with your spirit. The awakened spirit will fix everything, both in the present and in the future. It can even improve the body of its avatar, since regeneration and evolution became possible during the transition. Now is the time when many things in nature are in hibernation and many people are apathetic, waiting for winter to end soon. Then we will start living, get going. That is why I am not giving any further active practices on SD for now. But this does not mean that it is permissible to put yourself off until later, until Monday or until March 1st. The fact is that there is a whole string of Mondays and firsts ahead. You can follow them all your life and life will pass by. The best cure for apathy is to engage in self-development right now. Little by little, slowly, but start and move yourself forward. You can start with effective nutrition and effective movement. This is not self-limitation and self-torture at all. On the contrary, the principle is that development should be enjoyable. Only in this case, Monday will start on Saturday. All recommendations are given in the book, Transurfing Yourself. The Transurfing Center website now has a section called Efficient Movement, where video lessons show how to do this. On the same website, you can find video courses on how to move yourself into the new time. For example, Awakening in the Spirit, Managing the New Reality, and others. The practices in these courses must be done in a detached mode, without effort, as if reluctantly. During the practice, allow yourself to enter a kind of trance, when the mind, will, and all efforts are switched off, and only your permission is present for something unusual to happen to you. And it will definitely happen. You will most likely come into contact with your spirit for the first time, feel it if you have not been able to do so before. I also highly recommend not only listening to the book, but reading it at least once, because the text highlights the main ideas that may not be perceived by ear. https://zealands.ru/pabo-ffekt